All right, in this question, they want us to pick the list of fractions, decimals, and percents that are in ascending order. All right, so the big idea is converting fractions, decimals, and percents. It's hard to compare them sometimes when some are fractions, some are decimals, some are percents. So we'll come back to that idea a little bit later. But we could always use this strategy we had used earlier of drawing a picture and using our benchmark fractions and decimals and percents. Also, we talked about how even though it's a math test, the reading is very important. You've got to read and sometimes reread the question to understand exactly what's being asked. And in this one, when you read it, you've got to read that word ascending. They want them in ascending order. We have to know what ascending means. So ascending is going up. So basically we're going to start with the lowest one and have them in order increasing higher and higher. Okay, so one of the possible answers is this one here. So as far as drawing a picture, we could draw a picture 1/4. Looks like that. We could draw a picture of 2/5. Remember when you draw fifths, it's like the guy doing the jumping jack. Arms go up like that, legs go down like that. And if you need to erase it and redo it to make it look a little better, then you can do that. But 2/5 would look like this. So it looks like it is ascending. It goes from 1/4, which is smaller, to 2/5, which looks a little bigger. 75% is bigger than that still. However, one thing I didn't put in the strategy here, but we want to also think about process of elimination. I think we could actually eliminate this answer even before we do any of this. And here's where we could use the process of elimination. And we're also going to use our benchmarks. Okay, so 1/2 is the same as 0.5, which is 50%. So if we kind of know that 1/2 is 0.5 and 50%, then we say, wait a minute, it can't go from 75% up to 50%. That's going the wrong way. That's not ascending. So this one cannot be the answer. So really, you didn't have to do this. You could have just kind of used process of elimination, knowing your benchmark fractions. Okay, let's take a look at another one of the possible answers. We'll see if it's maybe an answer we should investigate, or is it one that we should eliminate. Okay, one of the answers says this: 2/3, then 75%, and then 1/4, and then 0.8. All right, so is this one that we should spend a lot of time on to see if it's right, or is there a way that we could eliminate it because of knowing our benchmarks or because of maybe drawing a picture? All right, so one of the benchmarks I know is that 1/4 is like a quarter. A quarter is 25 cents, which means it's 0.25, and it's also 25%. So 25% can't be larger than 75%, which rules this out. Also, if you think about the picture for 1/4, the picture for 1/4 shows us that it's smaller than 1/2. We kind of should know that 75% is more than a half because it's more than 50%. So it can't go from a number that's more than half to a number that's less than half. Process of elimination tells us this one is not ascending order. Let's look at another one and see if it's one we should consider or whether we should eliminate it. One says 3/5, then 0.5, and then 1/3, and then 25%. All right, so take a look at this. Should we spend some time to investigate if it's right, or can we use our benchmarks to eliminate it and use process of elimination? Okay, so I think we could definitely eliminate this one. We know that 0.5 is 50%, but 50% is not going to be smaller than 25%, and so there's an issue right there. Also, even 1/3. 1/3 is smaller than half, but this is a half, so it's not going to go from a half to smaller than 1/2. So definitely not the right answer. All right, let's take a look at this one. We've got 1/5, 25%, 0.4, and then 1/2. Okay, so can we use elimination to eliminate this, or should we investigate it because maybe it's the right answer? Okay, so I noticed that 1/2 is one of our benchmark numbers is 50%. So this could only be right if the rest of these are less than 50%. So if we think about 1/5, that's less than 50%. 25%, remember that's the same as 1/4. That's one of our benchmark numbers. That's less than 50%. Okay, so this one, how do we change that to a percent? So remember, any decimal number, move the decimal 2 times, which gets it to the hundredths place, which will make it a percent. So in this blank spot, you can put a 0. So 0.4 is actually 40%, which we know is less than 50%. So it's looking good so far. These seem to be pretty close. Are we sure they're in the right order? Well, one thing you could do is we could change this 1/5 into a percent. Remember, percent means out of 100. So now we're going to talk about converting a fraction to a percent. So one way I could do that is I could change this denominator to 100. So what do you multiply 5 by that would make it into 100? 5 times 20 is 100. So multiply the numerator by 20. And it turns out that 1/5 is equivalent to 20 hundredths, which means that it's 20%, because out of 100 is a percent. So it goes from 20% to 25% to 40% to 50%. That is ascending order. This is the one that is the right answer. Okay, so again, different ways to convert fractions, decimals, percents. But even if you forget exactly how to convert the fraction or decimal or percent, you could always refer back to drawing a picture or using your benchmarks to understand if it's even possible to be the right answer, or is it one that should be eliminated using process of elimination.